Hello everyone! Welcome, welcome. Hope you enjoyed the pre-roll. As usual, a little recap and music and such. Welcome on back to Traitorous, everyone. I hope you're having a wonderful Friday. I'm gonna unmute Sims right now so I remember, like, immediately. Oh, I had the window up on the other screen. There we go, pretty. Thank you, Robin. Yeah, I had a whole look tonight. I literally just glued these nails on, like, as the pre-roll was running. So I'm hoping you can't tell from afar on camera that some of them are really shitty and there's glue everywhere. If you can tell, just ignore it and know I did it for, like, the full fit with, like, the green and such, you know. It was like a whole look I had planned and then I ran out of time because I took too long prepping this episode of Traitorous today, so I ran out of time to do things. But anyways, it should hopefully be a good episode. We only have 3 episodes left, including this one in season 1. So this is episode 6, Pressurized, of course. And we have 2 more left. If you want to see the titles of the last 2 episodes of the season, I recommend checking the Discord and looking at my stream schedule, because the last 2 episodes are up if you want to use that for any theorizing and such. Yeah, I think that the last 2 episodes are going to be the most explosive, which I think the titles indicate as well. So this one might not be as, you know, super popping off necessarily either, but a little more than last time, at least. It's perfect. Thank you, Robin. I'm glad you think so. I was looking on camera. I'm like, they don't look too bad on camera. Okay, I'm going to pull my script up here. Okay. I think that's all. I don't necessarily have that many things pre-roll to say again. This time, besides just getting into it, we're doing normal streams, but I'm still keeping my Black Lives Matter banner at the bottom, of course, on most of my streams here, because I'm doing other content and, like, not letting Traitorous fall to the wayside doesn't mean that it's not still on my mind and something to be paying attention to and thinking of, even if people were calming down and not just only posting content about that on social media. I just want that to be aware. And I know that it is Breonna Taylor, that's her name, right? I really hope I didn't butcher that. It's her birthday today, so go sign petitions and donate to her. Is there a GoFundMe for her? Put that in the community outreach, Robin, if there is a specific GoFundMe for her. I know that I have some petition links for bringing justice to her case in my document of links for Black Lives Matter stuff. There is on it. Sounds good. Okay, yeah, check the Discord for links and stuff about that, but we can stream in her honor tonight, definitely. So I think with that being said, then, I don't believe I have anything other pertinent to get into before just jumping on into the episode. So let's go ahead and switch on over to the game and get started here. Our flashback is not going to be too long tonight. It's going to be a pretty short and sweet flashback and a little self-indulgent, but it's important to me to show. So we're heading back. Tonight's flashback is especially not too far in the past. We've been going back at least a couple years. I guess last episode was only a couple months, but this one's only about a week or so. We're actually going back to about when one of the last couple episodes ended. I'm just double checking I'm muted. Yes, I did. Perfect. We're going back to just a couple weeks ago as prom night is upon us in the canon again, but we're not focusing on people that were at prom or the high schoolers this time. We're gonna actually go take a look into what's up with Cassandra and Lorena, because sorry, I was really concerned that I accidentally muted Sims because of my mic cord, but I think we're all good. As we saw a couple episodes ago, Lorena and Cassandra called Lorena and asked if they could sit and talk about, you know, everything that happened with Justin, and Lorena reluctantly agreed, and so they did go out to a cafe just on that same night, which, on the night of prom for the teenagers, which we saw all that play out. But they went to a cafe and talked about a lot of things, and talked about how, Justin II really kind of played Cassandra as well. I think she wanted to make it really clear to Lorena that, I'm just gonna queue up some conversation interactions here while I discuss, she wanted to make it clear to Lorena that she wouldn't have wanted to do anything to hurt her or to come between them again, like she did. She still feels guilty about even, you know, coming between them back then, back all those years ago, but she was really young and stupid and thought that, you know, Big Dr. Man was gonna leave his wife for, you know, the cute nurse that had stolen his heart, and she knows that was naive, and she felt terrible, so for all these years, like, ever coming between them, and she feels terrible for doing it again and for believing him, and making sure that Lorena knows that he definitely manipulated and played her as well. And I don't know how receptive Lorena was at first necessarily, but the more that she heard about it, the more that, you know, Cassandra definitely explained it. She could tell that Cassandra was telling the truth and was good-hearted and not, like, trying to come in between her and her husband. She could tell that they were both sort of played by him and put in the same situation of believing that, you know, they were his own one and only in his heart, no matter who he was legally married to or anything. So she's definitely been warming up to Cassandra more and more, and they talked so long that actually the cafe started to, you know, shut down, closed for the night, so they were about the last patrons in there that got later and later into the night, of course. And so they were still discussing things. Cassandra was just getting into telling Lorena about the children that she has with Justin, which was a bit of a blindside to Lorena as well, but she definitely wants to hear about it, and Cassandra likes, you know, would love to tell her about the children and stuff. So they decided, Cassandra's like, hey, you can go ahead and come back, like, it's a dance at the school. I'm pretty sure the boys are out of the house anyways. They, you know, mainly take the downstairs area of the house even when they are there, so we can have the whole upstairs to just continue this conversation and chat and stuff, which is exactly what they did and where they are now, continuing their conversation in Cassandra and the twins' home here in town. A bit away from the Clark estate, but they have a pretty nice, you know, modern house going here, and Lorena's just been warming up a lot more to Cassandra as the conversation goes on. They actually have a lot of common, and Cassandra's been showing her some pictures of the boys when they were little, like telling her about them. She's glad that they aren't here tonight. She didn't want to, you know, it's kind of a lot to meet these boys that her husband has with another woman on the same night that she, you know, is learning about them, of course, but she's definitely enjoying, like, hearing about them, hearing Cassandra's side of things. And they've been drinking a bit of wine. I think I hear, if I did grab them wine glasses. I meant to have them drink that. Lorena's grabbed them a couple glasses of wine. They're a few glasses in, you know, they've been, like, chatting, hanging out, having a fun time all night, and yeah, both of them are just, Cassandra's kind of a flirty, like, sensual person. I think that's part of what got Justin in trouble in the first place, falling into her, you know, woes, but she is just kind of a flirty person in general, so she's definitely been, like, giving a couple little jokey flirts Lorena's way, as she does with most people that she gets along with, and it's kind of flustering Lorena a little bit. She's not exactly sure where that's coming from, whether, you know, she just hasn't gotten that much attention in that sense in a while, or if, you know, she maybe is attracted to Cassandra, or maybe part of her wants some kind of revenge in her kind of drunken mind, thinking that maybe her doing anything with Cassandra could potentially ease her heart about anything that happened with Justin. But whatever the motivation for it is, she's a little too tipsy to want to quite pinpoint at the moment. All she knows is that she's gonna go for it. She hasn't had fun in a while. You know, everything's been kind of stressful with Justin lately anyways, and so she's gonna, you know, flirt back and see where it goes. And actually, as the two just continue to get more, like, drunk as the night goes on, more touchy, more flirty, not really thinking about it, the two did end up getting pretty intimate with each other and just kind of making out on the couch. I don't know that either of them necessarily expected. It's not what they were planning on for this meeting and this conversation to go, but hey, like, they're, you know, whatever, they're feeling it, so why not? Clearly they're both, like, attracted to each other and they've kind of just been hooking up a little bit ever since. It's been about a week since this happened in present time, you know, which is basically we'll leave them here. Again, not too much to touch on in the past, but kind of at least the start of whatever's going on between them that Christopher walked in on at the end of last episode, which yeah, we're gonna leave these two to whatever whatever activities they did get up to that night. I don't know if we'll hear all the exact details about it, but we will leave them there and head back to the present where Lorena is explaining basically just this to Christopher as he noticed them in 2020. We are indeed back in the year of 2020, of course, and we are back in the present. And catching up right where we left off for last episode with Christopher walking in on a bit of a flustered and half-dressed Cassandra and his mother Lorena here. And so Lorena's kind of explaining, maybe not in detail because obviously it's her son, but just kind of telling Christopher what's happening because I meant to have Lorena be telling him the secret instead, but you know, just a little like, oh, I'm so sorry, like I didn't, you know, I didn't really want you to find out that way. Christopher isn't really aware that even her and his father are separated at this point, so she's assuring him that no, like, listen, a lot has gone down with your father and I lately. I found out that he's the one who's been cheating actually with Cassandra, who you know from the practice. Cassandra's kind of just awkwardly staying in the background and like saying, you know, staying a little quiet, but there he definitely knows her. He's worked with her for a bit, and you know, she's been around at the practice for a bit. He's met her before, even like working there, you know, way back in the day. He remembers when he was like a little kid, you know, seeing her every now and then whenever he would go into the practice with his father. So, hi Zay, sorry you're late, that the boys didn't wake you up. But don't worry, all you've missed is just the start of Lorena and Cassandra just kind of making out and you know, not sure exactly where the motivation's coming from, and her kind of explaining that to Christopher. Anyways, that she's not sure exactly how strong anything is between her and Lorena yet, and you know, she agrees that it's kind of weird that Cassandra is the guy that she found his father cheating on her with, and she's like, I'm so sorry, like I didn't want you to find out this way, and especially because I'm not exactly sure what this is or how deep this is yet. I didn't really want to tell you kids. I was still trying to figure out how to tell you kids about the fact that your father and I are getting divorced. This is obviously not the best way to tell you, but yeah, yes, that is true. Don't worry. Like I'm not the cheater here, and that I don't know. I like Cassandra so far, and it feels good right now, and it's someone who understands the same situation I'm going through, the same kind of hurt that I'm going through, that Justin put both of us through, and she, you know, is giving me a place to stay while I'm not really feeling comfortable staying in the family home, so, you know, I'm going along with it for now. Sorry if Sims is really quiet. There is audio, it's just really, really silent for some reason. I have Sims turned pretty far up, but it's very quiet. Pause for a second as I go look at game options. Did I turn my audio down on accident? We can bump them up a little bit. Oh, UI sound can go down. I don't care about that. Sure. Hopefully that helps. Sorry if you haven't heard their idle sim chatter. So yeah, Christopher's a little taken aback and flustered, kind of awkward to run in on his mother and co-worker, half-dressed, obviously, but he's like, okay, like, you know, that's a lot to take in one sitting, obviously. I guess I'm happy for you. I want you to be happy, you know, I care about you. And he's like, yeah, thank you. You know, we can have more of a family conversation at some point about this. Oh, they're probably all hungry because I forgot to turn eats off. It's fine. And Lorena is going to say to Christopher, though, that, like, obviously, as I said, I didn't really want you guys to find out this way, so the only thing I ask is that you do kind of keep it quiet for now, and that you especially don't tell your sister yet, because I don't want her to find, you know, I want her to find out in a better way than you did. And Chris is like, oh my god, fine, I guess I will, but you know that, like, I suck at keeping secrets from Charlie, like, she can always tell, which Chris knows in the back of his mind that's kind of why he hasn't been hanging out with his sister much lately, because he knows that she would be able to tell that he wasn't telling her something, aka everything going on with Rosalie. So he's been trying to avoid her because she can read him like a book, and Lorena's like, no, I know, but please just try your best. Like, I promise I'll tell everyone soon that at least your father and I have separated, and whenever I figure out whatever, you know, Cassandra and I are, that I will tell people. It's just, you know, I want to take this slowly and do it the right way, but I mean, what did you want to talk about? Like, obviously you needed to talk to me, why you were saying that as you walked in the room. Did you need something from me? And this is still kind of a lot for Chris to process in his head, so he's gonna just be like, it can wait. No, it's all good. Mom, you finish, packing, which is what Lorena was originally over here to do. Her and Cassandra just got a little carried away as they're packing up her stuff. Chris is like, that's fine, we can talk at some other point. I think a little bit for my brain to wrap around everything that I just found out. Hello, Cassandra. I guess I will talk to you later, Mom. And so Chris has obviously not gotten the advice that he was maybe seeking out after spur of the moment kissing Rosalie, but he's gonna leave the situation for right now and come back to it another day and maybe just push it out of his mind for the time being. And we'll let Lorena and Cassandra themselves get back to whatever they were doing. I don't think I put Aimi in the right outfit the night that she was in last time, so actually, you know what, hold on. We're not gonna do a full break. I'm just gonna take it here really fast because we're not changing scenes. I'm just silly and didn't check what outfits Aimi and Rona were in, because the other piece of information that was happening obviously at the Clark estate last time we left off is that Aimi had just headed on over because she heard something from her daughter when Samantha was talking about everything that happened in prom, that Dylan had mentioned something about the eldest Clark lady being involved in the situation. So of course Aimi was not too thrilled about hearing that, and she had headed over to give Rona a piece of her mind about the situation. So just a couple rooms down the hall, actually, we have Aimi and Rona. Rona was doing a bit of closet organization, and here we go, back in what she was wearing when she showed up to the house. Rona was doing a bit of closet organization, so Hunter went ahead and let Aimi into the house and then, dipped as he was about to do anyways, and she found Rona here in the closet, so she's going here to have a conversation. Rona's not necessarily happy to see her. Everyone, as I've said before, knows who all the Clark and Winstons are. These two don't really talk, but she knows who Aimi Winston is and that she is a part of, married into the Winston family at least. And Amy's not here to make friends, and she's gonna just come right out at Rona and be like, so I don't know exactly what you did, but my daughter has been in tears for the past week and not acting like herself, and I've caught wind that you were involved somehow. I don't know how yet. I don't know if I necessarily want to know all the details of what the hell you did, but I'm just here to tell you that it's not gonna happen again, and you better not interfere with my personal family life at all. She's flattering her. That wasn't a flirt. I wish the animations were different in Sims. Let's get that back into an argument, actually, though. Here, argue about parenting. That works. I'll queue up just a few mean interactions so they don't start a friendly conversation in the middle of this. Oh yeah, shout forbidden words at Rona. That works great. Well, we'll just do another yell at too. And so Rona's just gonna kind of play dumb, play a little innocent and be like, whatever are you talking about? Like, I don't interact with you Winstons, that I keep, why would I? What are you, I have absolutely no earthly idea what you could possibly be accusing me of. I don't talk to your prissy little daughter. And, Amy's not stupid either. She's not gonna she knows that she's involved somehow, and, she's just gonna really ring Rona out and be like, that's, like, I know that you did something, and it's despicable to try and target a child. She's literally a child still. She's still in high school. If you have a problem with someone, like, I know you guys have this weird feud between your families that, like, I refuse to participate in, but don't go after my children. And Rona's gonna just think that she's playing a little bit of game posturing here and give it right back to her and be like, listen, if you want to take someone down, you go with the youngest one first. Like, you should know. Don't act like you're not playing games either, Aimi. I saw that flush on your cheeks when Hunter walked you in here. And Amy's like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm not playing any games. I'm telling you to stay the fuck away from my children, because I'm not gonna handle it again. I guarantee you that I can probably dig up some dirt on you, and next time I'm not just gonna come and yell at you, okay? You're going to have hell to pay if you touch like my family again. All right. And Rona's just gonna say, listen, you know, you can't. I know you're doing something. You're playing your role. I, you know, played my move. I'm excited to see whatever, you know, move you have back at me this time, you know, in this little feud between our families. And you know, I'm excited to see what you're gonna do to retaliate then if you're gonna talk that big a game. And Amy's genuinely not, like, fucking around with this and is tired of it and is just like, oh my god, all of you Clark women are so vile, aren't you? I just stay away from my children. They're children. Leave them out of whatever drama this is. I don't know what you're on about involving me. I'm not doing anything. Whatever you think is happening is not happening. So, like, leave me and my kids out of it. And she'll just leave it there with Rona still smirking, thinking that, you know, not thinking that she necessarily lost that, but they're at a bit of an impasse. Amy's made her voice known, and she's gonna go ahead and head out. Just frustrated having to deal with this family even, and go ahead and head home to continue comforting her daughter, which is where we'll leave the Clark estate back in where we left off at the last episode, and we will come back in just a couple minutes back to the Winston household a few days later, a few days after all this has blown over. It's a little dark out in the game. Pretend it's more daytime. I was gonna wait for it to be daytime. Excuse me, I was gonna wait for it to be more daytime, but I didn't want to waste any more time because it took so long to get the scene set up. So just pretend it's a little more mid-afternoon. It's dark and stormy out. That's the reason it's dark. Let me make sure that Sims is unmuted. It is. Okay, so it's a few days later than when Samantha told Amy about everything, and Amy went and discussed it, I guess we'll say, with Rona. And so as Amy was kind of saying to Samantha, at some point, as I'm gonna just reset that really fast actually, since they have too many relationship things going on where they're kind of freaking out. But, oh, it looks like they're having a good time. They're, as Amy said that she would do, they can go ahead and have a little bit of retail therapy. They're having a bit of girls' day together, as I guess the employees are breaking it down over there. Samantha, come back here and get into another conversation with your mom. So yeah, Amy's decided to take her daughter out shopping, have a bit of a, you know, girls' day out on the town, and hopefully brighten her spirits a little bit more. I think it's been helping a little bit, you know. It's obviously not going to mend Samantha's broken heart, so to say, but it's something that can at least hopefully cheer her up, get her out of the house, put her in some better temporary spirits. And she's been talking with her daughter, making sure her daughter knows that, you know, she can tell everything that she needs to, and that she did go and talk to the head of one of the heads of household over at the Clark estate, which Samantha's a little mortified by. If they would ever get to another goddamn conversation, damn it. But secretly glad that her mom did go ahead and stand up for her. It's just like a little embarrassing having her mom go yell at one of the Clarks on her behalf, because she's the one who kind of started that whole drama. But Amy's like, no, if she messed with my family, if she messed with you, then I'm going to do something about it. And hopefully I spoke enough words to put the idea into her mind that she should not be messing with you again. So I don't know how she's involved either. She was fairly tight-lipped about it, but of course I'm going to be standing up for you and stuff. If there's Sims that you recognize hanging around, I can't control it. Sims that I have in this series do when I'm not controlling them, so ignore them if they're in the store. And we'll pretend that these two were conversing, since apparently they're not going to get into a conversation. But we'll go ahead. They're about ready to check out. They've been shopping pretty much all day, so we'll have them head on over to the register here to go ahead and check out. And as they do, they realize, hello. Pause as I reset the Sims one more time. I apologize. See, I didn't update my game because I wanted to make sure that things would run smoothly for tonight and that the game wasn't broken. because Eco Lifestyle came out today, and so did a patch a couple days ago, which means Sims is a little bit unhappy, especially mods, but since I haven't updated or anything, everything should be okay. Oops. That's not how you spell her name. But it's still causing issues. It's probably unhappy that it did not update. But like I said last week, it might be a little screwy this episode because of all the patches and stuff. We're doing our best. And hopefully they start responding to the interactions that I tell them to do. If you ladies could go ahead and head on over to checkout, please. Help. There we go. Okay, Sam's clearly still a little sad, but they're gonna go ahead and head to checkout to get ready to go home. And oh whoops, it looks like Maxwell is also out shopping. He looks a little startled as he runs into them as well. He hasn't really spoken to Samantha since everything at prom happened. He's tried to text her a couple of times, but she's not really responded besides a short, like, you know, saying that she definitely needs some space. And Aimi seems a little awkward too. I think Amy's a bit upset with Maxwell and this brother that she doesn't know for what happened to her daughter. But Samantha will kind of motion to her mom that, like, it's okay, you know, to go ahead and leave them be. But she does kind of want to talk to Maxwell, I guess, since they're, excuse me, running into each other. So Amy's gonna go ahead and, you know, leave her be. She trusts her daughter, like, if that's her judgment call. She's gonna go ahead and, you know, pay for everything. She'll check out and she'll leave the teenagers to discuss whatever they need to discuss with each other. Let's see, is it... Oh, the rain is clearing up a little bit. We'll have them go have a little bit of a chat outside here, I guess, by this tree. So yeah, Samantha will go over to Max and just say that she'd like to talk if he's willing to, which I think that's exactly what Maxwell's been wanting from her. So he's upset. He's still pretty tense about the whole situation, but yeah, Amy's gonna go ahead and take care of the bill here, so she'll head on up to, let's see, I don't know if there's a I probably need to buy something to check out, don't I? Let's pretend that they bought some clothes, and so that I can get someone on over here to go ahead and ring her up. Why do no retail employees work in The Sims? Hello, can I buy something? Oh, looks like we have a couple of the nurses from Justin Clark's private practice. Shopping for some new workout clothes as well. Hello. Okay, well, Amy's gonna go over here and check out, and we'll pretend that there's some new self-checkout stations here at the fancy new retail store, and she was planning on using the family credit card that they have to just kind of spend, you know, on general expenses for the family. This was for Samantha, you know, usually Robert lets her use the card to buy clothes for Samantha for school and stuff, so she just figures that she'll, you know, ring it up on there. That's like the easiest decision, but unfortunately when she tries to use the family card that's shared between her and Robert II mainly, the card gets declined, which is kind of weird, but Amy's like, okay, whatever, these things happen sometimes, and she's gonna go ahead and try and ring it again, but like the card keeps getting declined, which she thinks is strange, but it's probably just something messing up. She'll talk to Robert later about it, so she'll go ahead and pay with her own personal debit card for the time being, but she definitely thinks it's a little strange that for some reason that keeps getting declined. She's never really had that issue before, usually, you know, smooth sailing, but no biggie. She'll just talk to Robert about it later. And then we'll go ahead and catch back up with Samantha outside with Maxwell. They both got their little umbrellas here. I'll get them into a conversation, which I think is pretty stilted anyways because of everything that happened. Samantha wasn't necessarily expecting to talk to Max this soon, but you know, he's here, and it's like all the feelings are just kind of rushing to the surface. Everything that she's upset about, but also missing him and such the second that she saw his face. So they're just talking. Obviously, she still cares about him, and Maxwell isn't exactly sure how to start this conversation either, other than just being like, you know, I'm sorry, I've already texted you that, but I guess like in person, I'm really sorry about everything that happened. And Samantha would be like, yeah, thank you for that, I guess. I mean, I do appreciate the apology. Are you wearing that why are you wearing that bracelet? And because Samantha recognizes that this bracelet is the one that she won for Maxwell on their first date to the fair. It's just like a cheap, shitty little plastic bracelet, but it's like a souvenir from their first date, and it kind of catches Max off guard, but he's like, oh, yeah, I've been wearing that a lot recently. I guess it just reminds me of you, and I know that you needed your space to kind of think about things, but I just kind of wanted to still feel like you were close to me in some way. I don't know, that's stupid, but Samantha's like, no, that's really sweet, actually, and Maxwell's just gonna start spitting everything that he's wanted to say to her, and just that, like, I shouldn't have let that happen. I should have told you about my brother. I don't know. It was stupid. I know that he's, like, a dangerous guy, and he's been in and out of jail, like, ever since, you know, he got to the age where he could shoplift and, you know, grab things on his own, and I didn't think that he would ever stoop that low, and knowing that the Clarks are involved, I don't even know what's going on with that situation, but I should have told you, and that's by mistake, and I wish I had before. I just didn't want to, like, stress you out anymore with it. It's been putting a lot of stress on me and my mom, knowing that he's getting out of jail in the past couple of months, and things have just been kind of tough at home, and I was hoping to sort of tough it out until at least I graduated high school, and then maybe things could get better when I could move out and move into college and things were settled, and then I could explain it to you all, but I should have, it's something that I should have told you, and I'm really sorry, and I don't know what I could have, I don't know what I can do to remedy that. I've never liked my brother anyways, but this is like the last straw of me ever wanting to even, like, associate with him, and Samantha knows that he's being genuine. She can tell, and she does think it's really sweet that he's been wearing the bracelet that she got him and such, and Samantha will let him know that, okay, I mean, thank you for the explanation. It was kind of a breach in my trust, though, and God, it hurts me so much because I do love you, and I do know that you're telling the truth, and you would never want to hurt me. It's been a lot to figure out and handle and figure out how I'm feeling the past week, so I don't know. I still love you so much, but I don't know what to do about us at the moment, and I don't know that we can be together right now. I'm really sorry. I think I just need some more space. I'm not saying that things are over forever, but I think I just need some more time to figure out how I'm feeling about all this and figure out how to trust you again, I guess. And that's gonna kind of break Max's heart too. He was maybe hoping that they could mend things a little bit, but he understands and will say, I get it. I will give you as much space as you need, and you can just come to me whenever you're ready, and we can talk about things. You know, I love you, Samantha, and I'll do whatever you need to feel like, you know, safe and like you can trust me again in this relationship. I'm not my brother, and I'm not gonna let him ever, you know, come in between us or do anything to hurt you ever again, regardless of where we end up. And, well, they're both going to kind of leave with heavy hearts from this conversation. I think it's at least better on Samantha's end that she knows that he knows how she feels. She liked hearing his words and an apology, and she definitely just needs some more time and knows that she does really care about him and is glad that he's respecting her space for now and is going to let her figure things out on her own. So that's where we will leave Maxwell and Samantha, finally just kind of leaving it at friends, keeping their distance a bit for now, as Aimi is going to go ahead and head on out as well to take her daughter home from their little day out, hoping that things went well with the two teenagers talking out here. And so we'll leave them there and catch up with another Winston who is right next door at an establishment, actually. We're headed across the street to the restaurant that was actually right next to the store where Aimi and Samantha were at. As it changes over to evening, as they head home, we have another Winston out at this establishment over here, actually, and we have Brent here, and a face we haven't seen before, but we've heard from before. This is Jacob Henderson, who interviewed him at the Castle Trust credit union the other day. Just ignore that the table is far away from them and that they're on the same side of the booth. It's the only way I could get Sims to sit at this table together, because I forgot restaurants are annoying and that even sitting down is broken. But anyways, let's just roll with it, okay? It'll be better to show in the, it'll be better for framing anyways to see them on the same side of the booth. So, if you remember, he kind of asked Brent on a date, and Brent sort of turned him down because he was like, oh, I'm not gay, no, but sort of in a weird fit of rage at his father pestering him about getting a job and being kind of bigoted and homophobic in his language towards and talking about Jacob. Brent sort of made a weird split-second decision, well high, of course, to sure he'll go out to dinner with Jacob, which he's kind of explaining to Jacob right now, and Jacob's like, that's probably the weirdest reason anyone's ever agreed to go to dinner with me. What would that even do? And even Brent's like, I don't know what I was thinking. I guess just the only thought was that I know that my father would hate that I was hanging out with you, like even just as friends, so I just wanted to piss him off and figured hanging out with you would do that. I don't know. It was the first thought that came into my mind, and I don't really stop myself from making weird decisions when I'm a little fucked up, I guess. And then I was too anxious about it to cancel it, so here we are at dinner. And Jacob's just kind of laughing at him. He's like, okay, man, I mean, definitely weird, but I'm happy to go to dinner with you still, date or not. You know, regardless, like, it did seem like we hit it off and kind of get along. It sucks to hear how shitty Robert kind of is, you know, your father's company has kept my family in good hands, and sure as has in good hands for a long time, even if apparently Robert is that homophobic. And Brent's like, please listen, my father cares more about money and posterity and like the way he looks to the public than he does about any of his bigoted ass statements, okay? And that's kind of one of the reasons that I don't really hang out with the family that much. It's part of what drove me away. Like, I've always known that they're like that. I mean, even back in high school when I was still with my high school girlfriend, Aaliyah, like, they were, when I first invited her over to dinner, I guess I didn't know that she was black before I invited her over for the first time, and they seriously were asking how her family could afford to be in the same schools that I was in. And I think that's kind of when I first like really realized that there's no way that I'm gonna really just connect with this family, and sort of when I decided to not really keep my roots where I came from. I mean, honestly, I don't even know if they were more bothered by me knocking up someone at 16 or knocking up a black girl, but I don't know why I'm rambling and just telling you all this, sorry. I guess I just haven't really had anyone to talk to for a while or vent to about everything, and I don't know, my dad's offensive nature and just like his constant nagging of me and berating me, I guess, has really been grating on my nerves more than I thought it was. And Jacob's like, that's fine. I mean, people always say that I'm a good listener, that I'm good to talk to, so I'm happy to listen. That's really shitty. I'm sorry that that's happening, you know. And as they're kind of getting along, Brent feeling a little embarrassed that he's sort of unloading on this a stranger, but they're becoming friends, you know. Another few people are actually entering the restaurant that have the table next to him that he's not expecting to see. But speaking of his high school girlfriend and knocking her up, it's Rosalie, and she's here with Aaliyah? There she is. Rosalie's actually here with Aaliyah and another face that we haven't really seen before, and we'll get them to face the table over here because of course they notice that Brent is here as well. Rosalie's kind of taken aback seeing that her dad is here too. She hasn't spoken to him in a little bit. It's been a while, and so they're both a little startled to see each other, and she's like, oh, hi, Dad, not really expecting him to be here with Jacob and her, and like they don't really, she didn't think that they really knew each other all that well. I mean, she knows who most of the Henderson family is, just as another kind of prominent family in the town, you know. And we'll have Aaliyah say hello as well. She hasn't seen Brent in quite a while, but they're not necessarily on bad terms, just a little distant about everything. And so he'll say hello to them and kind of stumble over why he's here with Jacob, but Jacob will take over and just be like, we met at a job interview and, you know, we just got along and decided to hang out a little more as friends. Ignore this dude. Sims helped me. But Brent's kind of silently thankful that Jacob took over that conversation. And because Brent was sure he's gonna stick his foot in his mouth, and he'll go ahead and say a hello to this man over here too, and be like, right, you're hi, you're Aaliyah's boyfriend, right? I think we've met Sebastian. And this man's like, I am Aaliyah's boyfriend, Antonio, but close, I guess. And I mean, yes, we met at Rosalie's 18th birthday, but I guess that was about a decade ago, so no worries, dude. It's been a while. Glad to see you're doing well. And Rosalie jumped in too because she kind of still stuck back early in the conversation, like, oh, job interview, are you going on job interviews, Dad? And Jacob looks a little sheepish, like he maybe overstepped his bounds, but Brent's like, no, it's fine. Yes, I am. I hadn't really told you yet because I was kind of waiting until something was set in stone. But yeah, I have been trying to get a job. It's not going great so far, but I am trying. And Rosalie's like, oh, well, I'm happy to hear that, Dad. I'm glad that you're doing alright for yourself then. Hope you guys are having a fun time, I guess. And Brent will go ahead and ask Rosalie and Aaliyah and Antonio why they're here, though. And before Rosie can kind of step in and stumble something out, Aaliyah is going to answer and be like, oh, I mean, we're celebrating, of course. And Brent's like, well, celebrating? What are we celebrating? And, again, kind of before Rosalie can cut in, Aaliyah will just answer, like, well, I mean, we're celebrating the new Winston that'll be coming into the family, of course. And Rosie looks embarrassed. Aaliyah just being like, oh, was I not supposed to say anything? Mirroring what happened with Jacob a little earlier in the conversation. But Brent's definitely a little more taken back by this news than Rosalie was about her dad hanging out with Jacob Henderson. And he's like, oh, wait, are you pregnant? And Rosalie's like, yeah, I had not told you that yet. I was going too soon, but yeah, I guess now you know, so might as well tell you since that information's out there now. I mean, I'm not telling too many people yet, but yeah, that I am going to be having a kid. And Brent's totally flabbergasted by this. He didn't even think that Rosalie was with anyone, and we'll even ask, like, wait, I didn't think you were with anyone. Like, who are you having the kid with? She's like, it's a donor. You're correct. I'm not with anyone, but it's just kind of a decision that I've decided to make on my own. I feel like I'm ready for it, and we can talk at another time, Dad. I was gonna talk about it all with you at some point, promise. Just it's been a bit, so I was waiting until it felt like the right moment, but I guess I'm glad that you know now. And with that being said, we do have reservations here as well, so we should probably get to having our dinner as well. Aaliyah looking a little sheepish that she kind of outed this before her daughter was ready to say anything, but Rosie's like, yeah, it's okay, like, I am glad you know. And Brent's like, yeah, I am glad I know too. Sorry I haven't been more attentive, I guess. And she's like, no, it's fine, like, it's a recent development, don't worry about it. But I'll talk to you later. And with a bit of an awkward conversation all around, they'll go ahead and take their seats at the table close to this booth, and I guess everyone's in for a little bit of an awkward rest of their dinner, being sat next to each other and all, but with some information out in the air. Hopefully they all have a wonderful rest of their dinner. We'll leave them be there, though. Brent may be finding a new friend and processing the fact that his daughter he just found out that his daughter's pregnant. So that's it for a couple of our little smaller in-between scenes here. We're next gonna head on back to the Clark estate and catch up with some people there. We're back at the Clark estate the next day, and we're in the dining room down here as Marissa's deciding to work down here for today on some stuff, and her father Justin is actually looking for her because he wanted to have a bit of a conversation with her about 𝕋𝕣𝕒𝕒𝕒, their company that Marissa has taken over recently. A little bit of a different tone than last time, though, because he's actually here not to harass her or berate her about the numbers of the accounts dropping and stuff, but to surprise her actually and be like, hey, so I took a little peep at the numbers and the accounts for our company lately, which Marissa's already kind of annoyed at because she's like, Dad, I told you to stop doing that you can't keep doing that. I own the company now. And he's like, no, I know, but I went ahead and did that, and it looks like things are really improving lately, and so I'm proud of you. See, I never doubted you for a second. Like, I knew that you would be a good choice to take over the company. You got a smart, business head on your shoulders, which Marissa's gonna look pretty pleased at there. Here, we'll get her feeling a little confident and be like, well, thank you. I'm glad that you recognized that. Obviously, just a friendly compliment there. Father and daughter. She's like, well, thank you for noticing that, I'm doing a wonderful job with 𝕋𝕣𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒. I told you all you had to do was leave it to me, and eventually I was gonna, make our accounts skyrocket. Don't worry, Dad, I got things under control, okay? As I've proven. And he's like, no, you have proven yourself. I mean, Again, I knew that you were gonna kill it anyways, but I'm very, very pleased to see that we have lots of money rolling in, lots of happy customers lately. I mean, it looks like we're at least sure beating out the Winston's crappy company lately, so bravo on that. That's, of course, one of the best accomplishments that you can have in this family especially, so congratulations, keep up the good work. And that's where they'll leave their conversation. Justin will head off to go ahead and do his own thing, but Marissa's definitely pleased that it seems like, 𝕋𝕣𝕒𝕒𝕒𝕒's thriving, as, of course she knew it definitely was, but she's very glad that everything that she's been working hard for is finally and literally paying off, I guess, and that her father is happy with it. She's very pleased to be able to please her father in that sense, so that's what we'll leave Marissa to do a little bit of her work, Upstairs, though, we'll head on over to Chris and Amanda's room, where Chris is hanging out, and let me get him on his phone really quick. Just browse web or something, but it's been a few days since he accidentally kissed Rosalie, and he's sort of it's been on his mind a lot, but he's just been trying to not think too much on it and rationalize it in his head. Like, it was an exciting moment. It was, there was just a lot of adrenaline. Like, they've gotten close pretty fast. She's a really good friend at this point, and they've not really been in contact the past few days, since it has been a little bit since the awkward kiss. There hasn't really been, they've gotten in the habit of texting each other quite a lot the past few weeks, and it's sort of been radio silence the past few days, and he keeps finding himself sort of looking at his phone and almost typing out a couple couple drafts of texts of just like, I'm sorry, or like, hey, things don't have to be awkward, or, you know, even just jokes about it, but nothing ever feels exactly right. And she hasn't really said anything either, so he doesn't know if she even wants any more interaction from him. Maybe he freaked her out by kissing her. He's not really sure, but he's feeling pretty anxious about it, and something in his gut makes him want to say something to Rosalie, but again, he just can't quite find the right words of what he wants to say to her. So it's been a lot of texting, like writing out some text and then getting too overwhelmed or anxious about how it's going to come across and just deleting it and just deciding to forget it and set that whole situation aside for another day, which he's been doing day after day. He's just waiting around for Amanda, though, because she's coming back from the craft store, got a bunch of supplies. He's, you know, actually agreed to go ahead and help her out with some stuff that she's working on for the charity gala. Oh no, I forgot to take the skincare module. How to slice of life. Let's fix that really fast. Acne free, there we go. It's fine. So she'll come on in, and here we'll actually have him go, we'll have him go over, you know, and plant a big kiss on her. She's home from her shopping for the day. You know, it's like, oh, hey babe, like, okay, like, I hope you got all the supplies that you need. I'm excited to get started on this project, and yeah, go ahead and just like plant a real big kiss on her. And she's like, oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm glad to have your help finally with things for the gala. It's definitely, you're gonna be a huge help finally lending a hand here. And you know, he's like, yeah, I would love to put my attention on that. You know, I've got some more free time lately, and so I definitely happy to help you out. And she's like, what is, I mean, not that I mind, you've been so all over me the past couple days, like, oh, what's gotten into you? He's like, I don't know, maybe it's I just like seeing you do something that's making you happy, you know. It's you're glowing lately with you're thriving. Good job, babe. And she's like, oh well, you know, thank you for noticing. I'm really glad that you've realized. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been getting to talk to a lot of interesting people and get to know them better, and you know, helping out my parents is just really rewarding, you know. And as the two continue just to kind of flirt and hang out a little bit here, he's gonna just sweep her off her feet, you know, be like, hey, before we even get to the crafts, we have a bit of time, you know, we have all night to do things, so we can go ahead and take a little time for ourselves first. What do you say? And she's like, my goodness, Christ, like, it's been nonstop lately, but I mean, I'll never turn down some attention from you, so yeah, sure. And we'll leave them to their activity. Oh my goodness, we'll leave them to their activities there, and head on over a couple bedrooms down. Whether Chris is really that enamored with Amanda lately, or maybe trying to quell a guilty conscience, perhaps a little bit. We'll leave him and Amanda to their business, though, and head on over to Miss Madison's bedroom over here. Charlie, Shakoba, and Mohini are actually over visiting. Again, it's been a few weeks, so they're over to do laundry, of course, as they have been for a bit. Is Charlie hungover? Of course she's hungover. But they're over to do laundry. She's gone ahead and left her roommates down there to handle some laundry for a little bit, though, because she needs to talk to Madison, because a few weeks ago, like a little bit ago, after Madison, you know, asked if she could help with finding her birth mom and such, like, they got the whole DNA kit figured out and got the test, and you know, she had gotten Maddie to spit in the tube or whatever, and she's actually over here because the whole process has finished, and she's gotten the results back in the mail, and she's of course on this goddamn bunk bed again. Okay, I'm gonna cure her hangover so that she's not her head's not swimming here. But she's like, hey, you know, I am over here to do laundry, but I figured I should take a little bit of a break real quick to come talk to you and let you know that the results are in, and I have them in an envelope in my pocket if you're ready to have them. And I don't know that Maddie was expecting all of this to happen so quickly, but she's like, oh, oh gosh, yeah, that's exciting. And Charlie's like, I mean, I know your birthday's still a bit away, but I figured, you know, like, I wouldn't want to make you wait. I can give you an early birthday present, give you the results now. And as she's just about to give these results to Maddie, who still looks a little queasy because I mean, this was a big moment. It's what she's been waiting for a long time, but it's obviously a bit overwhelming to know that she might, you know, be finding out who her birth mom is in, like, or could be in the next couple seconds. But before she can really, oh my god, she's just hugging and thanking Charlie over and over again, of course. You know, thank you for helping and everything with all this. Like, it means a lot to me. And Charlie's like, oh, of course. I mean, yeah, anything for you, kiddo. I think that's I would love for you to know. And as she's about to give the results on over, though, Marissa is gonna walk in, and here, we'll have her just go yell at Madison, because it's time for Madison's after school tutor, and Marissa is the one who has to take Madison today, and she's like, all right, you little twerp, ugh, what are you doing here? And Charlie's like, oh my god, yes, lovely to see you too, Aunt Marissa. I'm just here to do laundry, of course, and I'm saying hi to my cousin, who I'm very close to. Marissa's like, whatever, I don't fucking care about your here, Madison. Like, we need to go. Your father's actually has plans for once. God knows where he is, but I, for some reason, have to take time out of my schedule to drive you to your tutor today. So, let's go. Pack it up. We need to get on the road because mommy's very busy. She has things she needs to get back to, so hurry it up, okay? I'll be, like, meet me in the car. So Marissa will walk out, and I think both Charlie and Maddie's hearts are pumping a little bit because it seems like they were almost caught by Marissa, and Charlie's like, okay, you need to go to your tutor, like, don't piss her off or tip her off anymore to anything. I'll hide the results in that, you know, the fake bottom drawer that you know, is left in that desk from my middle school days when I made that to hide candy and such. So I'll leave it in there for you. You open it whenever you're ready, whenever you want to. And Maddie maybe is even a little bit relieved that she doesn't have to open it right now. She's like, okay, thank you so much. I love you so much. I will text you or call you or something when whenever I do decide to open it. So thank you for all of that. And Charlie's like, of course, no problem, kids. So we'll let Madison go ahead and get out of here. Let's go outside. Ooh, pretend it's a little lighter outside. Things are taking longer in Sims than I meant for them to. We'll make sure that Madison and Marissa go ahead and head out to Maddie's tutor though, but we'll go ahead and have Charlie leave her room though, and head over here to head downstairs. And as she's heading on out of the room, she's actually gonna run into her brother Christopher exiting his room and such, and they'll sort of lock eyes across the hallway as she leaves, you know. And Chris sort of looks like a deer in headlights because, as he was saying, oh god, Chris, put some clothes on, Jesus. Help me. Okay, we'll pretend he has his clothes on. Lord, Lorena has told Chris to maybe keep everything about, you know, the parents, and Madison fucking screaming at Chris being naked. It's fine, go to your tutor, little kid. Lorena has asked Chris to keep things a secret from Charlie, especially until Lorena has figured out how to say things to her. Chris has had a lot on his mind lately and didn't really realize that it was laundry day for Charlie and that she would be here, and of course looking so startled immediately as he said Charlie can read him like a book, and she knows that at least something is up almost immediately, and it's gonna be like, hey bro, you know, what's up? Why the deer in headlights? Like, what are you hiding? He's like, nope, nothing. Nothing's up. Just helping Amanda with her, helping the parents with the charity. Yeah, actually, we have a lot of work. We have a lot of crafts that we need to get done. I should probably get back. I should get back to her. We've not really gotten much work done yet, and yeah, she needs a lot of help. Charlie's not buying it, of course. Like, this is her brother. Like, she knows. She's like, listen, like, you can't. fool me. Like, what the fuck is up? What are you hiding from me? You don't hide shit from me, because you know you can't, and, like, you shouldn't be anyways. And Chris is like, God damn it, no, I know I can't, I really can't tell you yet, like, I'm sorry, like, I want to have been sworn to secrecy, okay? And Charlie's like, that is so, you are being so weird, what do you mean? What do I need to know? But Chris doesn't want to betray his mom just yet. He knows that, like, she wants to do this, right, and doesn't want to, have Charlie find out in the startling way that he did, and he knows that he needs to duck out of this conversation pretty fast, or he's gonna start running his mouth a little bit too much about Lorena's stuff, and maybe even about Rosalie's stuff that he still needs to get off his chest, but I think at this point is too nervous to even really try and mention to anyone, so he's just like, nope, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna help Amanda, you have fun with laundry, I will talk to you soon, I'm sorry we haven't talked much lately, we'll definitely catch up soon, and Charlie's like, yeah, we will, because I'm gonna get whatever you're hiding out of you eventually. And before you go hang out with Amanda, I still need to give you back that t-shirt that I borrowed for that concert like a long ass time ago, but you've been avoiding me recently. If you want to go head down to the laundry room, I think that like that load should be done already. You can go grab that shirt from the load that Mo and Jacob are working on right now, okay? You know, I need to finish up with something real fast, and then I'll head down there, but you can go grab your shirt if you want. He's like, yes, okay, yep, that's sounds good, I will talk to you later. He's gonna take that welcome out from the conversation, of course, not wanting to be under his sister's scrutinizing anymore, and Charlie, of course, needs to go finish making sure that the letter is secured in the faulty drawer, so she'll head back, make sure it's all secret and tucked away, and so Chris is gonna go ahead and go grab his, you know, is gonna go grab his shirt from the laundry here, but when he walks in, he doesn't, I mean, it's the laundry room, he's not really thinking to, oh, where is the laundry room? It's down this hallway. He's not really necessarily thinking to knock or anything. I mean, it's just Charlie's roommates going ahead and doing some laundry in here, but what he walks in on is not exactly what he's expecting, because it turns out, I mean, Mohini and Jacoba are in here. Sims will load, and I'll pretend that doesn't say first kiss, but Chris is gonna walk in on Jacoba and Mohini being a little bit close here, and actually like see them making out. Here, I'll have them make out now that Sims has registered that it's not just the first kiss. And this is kind of similar to, oh my god, fine. It's still saying first kiss. Okay, whatever, Sims. Yeah, walking in on, it looks like Charlie's boyfriend and her roommate making out in the laundry room, which is kind of similar to what he walked in on the other day. There we go. Walked in on the other day with his mom and Cassandra, and so he's been definitely doing this way too much, and he's like, no, god damn it, I can't hide anything else from Charlie, I can't have any more secrets, and the two of them are just gonna be pretty embarrassed and caught by Charlie's brother, and be like, no, wait, we need to explain, and we'll leave them to explain things to Christopher. Maybe we'll end up seeing a bit of an explanation of what's going on here. I mean, he's hoping that Charlie's boyfriend isn't cheating on her. He didn't think that he was that kind of dude, but there's been a lot of secrets going on between his immediate family members lately, making out with people he's not expecting, so we'll just let them have a little conversation about that, though, and again, we'll maybe catch up next episode and see what exactly is going on with that situation, but for now, we're gonna go ahead and actually go to the Winston Manor this time. Back at the Winston Manor to check in on the other Winstons, see what they're up to. I mean, this is like the next day from, I guess it's 2 days since Aimi and Samantha were out shopping and everything, and Robert II is just getting home from work. You know, he's been pretty stressed and strung out lately, but you know, work isn't necessarily helping, but yeah, he's just heading on home for another stressful day, and is gonna go ahead and run into his father, the other Robert here, who will be like, oh, Robert, I meant to have a conversation with you. And Robert II's already, like, at least internally rolling his eyes. Half of his conversations with his father have not been necessarily the most congenial lately. His dad's just been yelling at him a lot about, you know, invading Terrance's privacy and such, and which Robert II's even just like, don't worry, I was just out at work, you know, not spying on anyone else in the family. Which Robert's like, all right, cut the sass, I'm just, you know, looking out for you as my son, and Terrance as, you know, he's been my son in this family for, you know, quite a long time now too, so why don't you cool it at least. And Robert's like, oh my god, whatever, yeah, do you know where Julia is? I wanted to talk to her today. And Robert's like, no, I'm not exactly sure where she is. I think she's out on the balcony today. But I did want to talk to you for a minute because just man to man, I figured I should tell you about something that I saw. Just because if I was in your position, that I would want to know about it. And Robert II's like, what do you need to tell me? You know, if it's about the company, you can stay out of it. I got everything under control. I've got it figured out. And Robert's like, no, that's fine. You take care of the company. It's yours to take care of now. But I was walking past the Clark estate the other day, and I just thought I should let you know that I noticed your wife, Aimi, I'm pretty sure is who it was, walking up to the door. She seemed to have kind of an interesting interaction with Hunter Clark over at that household, and I did see them enter the house together. I don't know if anything's going on there. You might want to, you know, keep an eye on her a little more, figure out what exactly she's doing over at the enemy's house, and if she's, you know, doing anything with another guy. I'm not saying she is, just figured you might want to know that information since it is your wife. I would want to know if something was happening with my marriage that could be seen as quite a big scandal if anyone else other than me maybe saw that, so you might want to talk to her, get that in line a little bit more. And Robert II's not super happy hearing that. I mean, I think partially just hearing the way his father's talking about his marriage and keeping his wife in line, but also this is kind of startling news about Aimi. I mean, he's been a little bit suspicious of stuff for a while. She's been doing a little bit of some shady activity, and he's been kind of curious as to what she's doing, and this potentially kind of confirms his worst fear that maybe she is doing something with another guy, but it's whatever. It's not what he needs to focus on right now. He's got something he needs to attend to tonight, so he's like, okay, thanks for telling me that, I guess, Dad. I need to go talk to Julia, who is indeed out on the balcony here. We'll leave that information in Robert's head to kind of mull over a little bit as he thinks about what his dad told him about where he saw his wife heading out to, but it's not necessarily evidence of anything, but it definitely is kind of sketchy that she would be headed over to the Clark estate, and so he wants to talk to her about that at some point, but for now he knows that he wants to talk to Julia. He's been trying to find as much information out about Terrance as he can by snooping through Terrance's stuff, but he's not gotten too far. He knows that something's going on with him, and he suspects that it has to do with Annabelle because of that security footage that he found, but his next line of defense, because he's not quite sure where else to turn to next, is, I mean, Terrance's wife and his baby sister, Julia. So he's gonna finally start actually talking to someone about everything that he's doing. Not exactly, but, you know, at least start questioning someone else instead of doing the investigation on his own. And so it's a bit of a rainy day, it seems like, but Julia is still, regardless, sitting on this balcony, the balcony area that goes off of her and Terrance's bedroom, just sort of thinking in the rain, sitting staring off as she usually does. If they could sit on the couch, that'd be great. And Robert's gonna go ahead and strike up a conversation with her, check in on her, of course, at first, and just be like, oh, hey, you know, Julia, are you having a good day? It's kind of rainy out here to just be sitting on the couch. She's like, oh, yeah, I hardly noticed. It's fine. I don't mind the rain, you know. He's like, yeah, that it's whatever you like to do. I wanted to talk to you about a couple things that are a little, I know they're kind of hard for you to discuss, but I really wanted to hear your side of things a little bit more, and kind of confused and curious. She's like, oh, okay, I mean, yeah, sure, whatever you want to talk about, Rob. And he'll just be like, listen, can you go over how Terrance told me that Annabelle died again? That's, I don't think, anywhere close to what Julia was thinking he was going to start a conversation about. Why would he be talking about that with her? And she's like, I mean, I don't know, you know, I was away on business, and, he a couple days after me leaving, he called and said that in the morning when he tried to wake Annabelle up, she, wasn't breathing, and told me that, you know, I know about SIDS and everything because of my job and why I'm even at that conference. Anyways, and so, yeah, I got a flight home as fast as possible, and didn't even go to that conference I was supposed to go to. I guess I probably should have never went. Anyway, so I could be the one that was here for her, but, yeah, I mean, there's not much more to it. I don't know why you're asking me about that. And Robert's like, no, I know, and I'm sorry. I know that's not something that you like talking about, but is that all? He just told you that he walked in one morning and she was dead? And she's like, yeah, I mean, since it can happen to anyone, and she's obviously a little uncomfortable, but Robert's gonna keep pressing and be like, okay, yeah, yes, what about the funeral though? I feel like it was really close after her death and after you came home. And Julie just says, yeah, I mean, I know it was kind of sudden, but Terrance made a good point that we should make sure that she's laid to rest and can be at peace as soon as possible. And I think he was right. It was good to do it, not sit in it for too long, and let her be at rest. And I'm glad that she's at rest. I mean, I don't know, you know, you were there for the funeral, you know how it went. And he's like, yeah, no, I know that I was there, Julia, but that's so fast. And did you make any of those decisions, or did Terrance make all of those decisions? Did you tell him that you wanted this, like, to happen so quickly? And Julie says, no, I mean, I don't know, I didn't necessarily, but again, I think Terrance made really good points about why we should have it, and he was being so helpful taking that off of my plate. It was a lot for me to think about, having to plan a funeral for my infant, Robert, so I was fine to leave it to him to figure it all out. And Robert's just gonna keep pressing and be like, but what about the details of the funeral? I mean, it was a closed casket. Did you ever see anything? Like, was that your decision, or was that his as well? She's like, of course, I don't know, Robert, I don't know, it was his. Why would I want to stare at my... Why would I want to see that? It was another good decision on his part. And just Robert's getting even more and more, like, riled up about it and trying to get more details. I don't know if he's necessarily noticing how kind of uncomfortable Julia is getting with it, and like even starting to like just start yelling about it and being like, but Julia, you never saw anything, then you didn't make any of these decisions. Why did you let Terrance make all the, like, does that not seem weird to you that he took over so much? I know that he takes over like all of the time, but Jesus Christ, like, I don't. And Julia's like, why are you asking me about that? Why are you talking about all these terrible things? Like, I don't want to just let my daughter rest. We don't need to be talking about these things. It wasn't a fun time. And Robert's just gonna keep like pushing and yelling at her to the point where Julia's like almost basically crying here, and Robert's just trying, like, is so fed up with things and all of the secrets. Oop, got rid of the sad one, didn't mean to. I was so fed up with all the secrets and everything, and he's like, God damn it, Julia, I know that something else is going on here. I know that you don't want to see it, but like, is there nothing else that seems weird to you? Like, you can't give me anything else. You can't tell me that you're gonna sit here and tell me that none of that seems weird to you, that he tried to keep you so uninvolved from everything. And his voice is definitely getting loud enough and yelling enough that it's carrying over to Terrance, who's just getting home, and here, you know, heading to the bedroom to finish up some work from home, and he's gonna go ahead and stomp on out to the balcony and be like, okay, what the fuck are you doing? Like, I can hear you yelling at my wife, and you're going to stop right now. Which, Robert's still already riled up enough that he's not gonna, oh god. keep getting rid of angry things. He's just gonna go ahead and get right back in Terrance's face, as he has done plenty of times before, and be like, you motherfucker, I know that you did something. I don't know what you did yet, and I know you have her wrapped around your finger for whatever reason she continues to believe you, but you are sketchy as hell, and I'm not gonna stand by and let you continue to do this. Like, I know you're sticking up for your wife against big baddie me, like her brother, just trying to maybe open her eyes a little, since clearly they've been fucking closed for over a decade. So I'm not gonna shut up about everything just because you want me to. And they're gonna go ahead and continue to fight and get to the point where, like, it's even about to get a little bit physical between them before Julia's about had enough of seeing of being yelled at. It's all very overwhelming, all the yelling, and seeing her husband and her brother fighting, and she's gonna just kind of break down. I don't know if I can, like, make her cry, but Julia's gonna definitely just have a bit of a breakdown and start sobbing on the couch, which will snap both of the guys out of their tiff that they're having here. Terrance will rush to her side immediately, of course, and be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, baby, I'm so sorry that he goaded me into, you know, raising my voice around you that much. I didn't mean to. Like, I just you know, I'm just trying to protect you. I'm sorry that some people around here want to act like that they're only here to care about you, but are clearly just trying to push you into situations you're uncomfortable with. Definitely being a bit pointed towards Robert in his words there, as he kind of holds Julia and comforts her, only serving to anger Robert more. And he knows that he didn't get too much out of that conversation, but he's not going to stop there. It's only serving to make him more and more frustrated with the situation, as he knows that now big bad Terrance is out here. He's not going to really get anything else out of Julia, even a conversation anyways, and he does feel bad for, like, upsetting her and making her cry. I didn't mean to take it that far with her, but he's just so frazzled about everything going on lately and just trying to figure out what's actually the truth happening behind closed doors. He'll go ahead and leave the balcony, though. So he'll stomp away to head back downstairs, and Amy's going ahead and heading out of the room as well at the same time, and is happy to catch her husband on his way out, though she wasn't sure that he was home yet or not. She figured he should be home soon, but she'll try and strike up a conversation with him and be like, oh, hey, sweetie, I didn't realize you were home yet. That's great. I did want to talk to you, actually, because it's not the big deal. I was just kind of curious because the other day I was out shopping with Sam, and I just figured it'd be easiest to use the family card to pay for a couple of things, and the card declined. Like, it's, again, like, whatever. I was just, like, wondering if you knew anything about what was going on with that, like if you'd heard anything from the card company or something recently. And still pretty angry and flustered. Robert is just gonna be like, that's yeah, there's just some, I'd made some purchase, there's just a hold on the card. You shouldn't use it right now. It's probably not a good idea, but I can't talk about that right now. And to be completely honest, you're not really who I want to talk to right now, Amy, so why don't you go get information from your clients or whatever you're so busy with lately, and yeah, we'll talk later. I'm just not in the mood right now, okay? And gonna continue to stomp away from this conversation as well, leaving Amy pretty thrown off, because that's, I mean, she wasn't sure what answer she was gonna get about the card, but he was just very angry with her, and she can tell that he was already upset. She figured it had something to do with Terrance, since that's where he was coming from, Terrance and Julia's room, but she's not sure what he meant by, like, not wanting to even speak to her, and that kind of hurt her feelings, because she's not sure what's happening exactly, or why he's so upset with her, but she knows that it's best to, when his temper starts to rise, just kind of let him cool off a bit before she tries to have conversation. So a bit of a hurt Amy will go ahead and carry about her business for the rest of the day, and we'll just continue to follow Robert as he heads back down back downstairs here, wanting to relax a little, unwind, because it's definitely, all of his buttons are being pushed. You know, he doesn't even know who he can trust anymore. He's not even sure if he can trust his wife right now, especially with the new information that his dad has offered him about where he recently saw Aimi. So he's gonna go ahead and head into the kitchen to go get a drink to unwind a little bit after work, and he'll run into his Aunt Catalina, who's sitting in the kitchen here, you know, just tending to whatever she does throughout the day, you know, making sure that she's up to date with the medical care that she's giving Robert the First, you know, and she'll see her nephew here going to get a drink, and clearly he's pretty upset, and Catalina's gonna hiccups. Gonna go ahead and strike up a conversation with him. I mean, they have a fairly friendly relationship. They don't talk that much. I mean, she's only been around for a little bit again in their lives, and so she'll notice how upset he looks, though, and go in for a drink and be like, listen, I noticed that y'all don't have any of the good hard liquor in this house, and you look like you need a real strong drink right now, so here, just follow me, I'll hook you up. So she'll go ahead and take him out to her car here. It's this little orange bug, and Robert's just gonna go ahead and go along with it. He's like, yeah, sure, whatever, because Catalina's like, listen, I got some better, like, nice expensive stuff that I just keep in my trunk. And Robert's like, yeah, thanks, Aunt Cat, you know, there's not really, you're correct, there's not any of the good hard liquor in the house anymore ever since Brent kind of moved back in, you know, all of his past with addiction and stuff, and I mean, Mom's previous stints with alcohol and stuff. We just decided it's not a good idea to have much alcohol in the house. I mean, besides the wine that we keep in there. And Caitlin's like, no, I understand, but listen, sometimes you just need something a little stiffer than the bland wine that you guys keep in the house. So feel free. I'm happy to share my stash with someone who is definitely going through a lot. Is there anything that you want to talk about? I mean, I don't have anything else to do today, really. I'm happy to lend an ear if you just need someone to vent to, maybe get some thoughts off of your mind with. And he's like, yeah, thanks, actually, I guess I kind of do need that. I mean, I don't know. It just seems like I feel like I'm going crazy, that everyone else around here seems to have so many things going on, and I don't know what's happening. And maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just paranoid and freaking out, but it seems like there's so many things that I just try so hard to keep this family together, and it seems like everything's falling apart, and I don't exactly know what to do, because I don't know what the hell is happening with anyone anymore. I don't know, like, who's doing what or what's going on. And Killian's like, no, I definitely understand. I'm sorry if, I know that you walked in on that argument between Juliet and I the other night. I'm sorry if that contributed to, like, I've seen how much that you definitely try and take care of the family, and hell knows that Robert's not doing much of that anymore, and so I think you're doing a fantastic job of taking up, man of the household lately, since your father's retirement, and even if I've not really been around for a bit ever since you've been sort of taking over more of the responsibility, especially with the company, I mean, I've been watching from afar. I've been keeping tabs on you guys, and I've been proud of how you've been handling everything so far. And Robert will thank you. He hasn't gotten much appreciation for everything that he does do, and all of, the plates that he tries to keep spinning on a daily basis. So he's like, thanks, Aunt Cat. That's actually, that really means a lot to me. I'm glad that someone recognizes that around here. I still feel like I'm so underwater when it comes to everything else that's going on in this household, but thank you for at least appreciating my efforts. I feel like no one just hears me out in this family anymore. It's been a long time since it seems like anyone's really just sat and listened to what's going on in my head and actually responded in a way that is not just about them. So I guess thank you for being here. This was it was nice, and thanks for the alcohol. I guess I could have used a family member who was more attentive like you a few years ago. And Catalina's like, yeah, I mean, I would have loved to be here for you guys growing up more. I know that my brother can be a bit of a difficult person to deal with sometimes, and Lord knows I don't share a lot of his ideals that thankfully it looks like he hasn't necessarily instilled in most of you children. But yeah, sorry, I wish I could have been around a lot more to help out for things. And I mean, Robert seems a little confused by that, but he's like, I mean, that's okay, but I assumed that you didn't really want to be around. I mean, as my parents have said, you kind of just took off like 50 years ago and haven't really showed up until now, and you haven't said much as far as I know about where you went during all that time. And Catalina's like, oh, is that what your parents? That's what your mom's been telling you too? And Robert's like, yeah, that's the general story. I guess I don't know details, but I know that you just kind of took off and were never seen or heard from again all that time ago. And Catalina's gonna go ahead and see. She seems pretty irritated at this point, but she'll go ahead and at least let Robert in on a little bit of it and just say to him, like, okay, that's not exactly the truth, okay? I've wanted to be around, and I wanted to be involved with you guys growing up and be there for you guys. I didn't just take off 50 years ago. Juliet's the one that made me leave and refuse to let me have contact with you guys for 50 whole years. So if you are curious about that, maybe you want to talk to your mom a little more about what actually happened there, because it wasn't my decision. And so maybe not the most climactic ending, but I guess Robert looks definitely shocked by hearing that. I mean, he would be. This is not the narrative that he's heard all growing up, but that is where we're going to go ahead and end this episode. So a bit of a more conversational episode as well, but I promise, listen, we got 2 episodes left. There's going to be a bit more actual action things popping off in the last 2 things here. So yeah, again, maybe not the most climactic little teaser for the end there, but some new information coming out, so that's what I'll leave you with for now. You may speculate as much as you wish, of course. I hope you enjoyed it, even if, again, it was a little bit of a slower conversational episode. Again, I keep saying it, but, like, listen, the very end of the season is where it's really gonna pop off, because we only have 2 episodes left. Again, I go check those episode titles. Yeah, I hope you had fun. I had fun with this one. It was a little bit more rocky like last week's. Again, there was a couple things I wasn't exactly sure I was gonna go about, and Sims was not really exactly cooperating tonight, but I think we pulled it off, at least as well as I was able to, with the resources given to me and technology working against me tonight. But I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I think there's a handful of little information and tidbits to pick out if you caught them and stuff. I know people like Jenna and Robin, whenever you guys watch or rewatch this. I know Jenna's not around tonight, but Jenna, whenever you watch this, I hope you caught some few little info tidbits that may come into play a little bit later as well as usual, but I'm just rambling now. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you had a good time here. I hope you have a wonderful night. I appreciate you all for being here. I love you all so much, and have a wonderful weekend. I love you all. Nighty night, kitties.